Ladies and gentlemen, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be announcing the channel favorite champion of 2016. So yesterday we did a two-part video series covering all 26 of the champions released last year, and I was kind of giving my thoughts and opinions about the champions, what I liked about their design, what I didn't like, their potential uses in the game, how certain mechanics that were introduced like Black Panther and Mordo's stun counters, have been made to counter champions such as Scarlet Witch, and how I really like that stuff. But yeah, we covered so much. Literally, it was about 40 minutes and we talking about champions. So, if you missed that out, if you want a little bit of inside info onto, how good these champions are and what they can potentially be used for, there's probably about 80% of all the info on these champions in those videos, but, there's additional stuff that can be found in the comments. A lot of you guys left your pro tips on special champions, which I was reading through, really picked up a lot of stuff there, guys, so thank you to everybody that kind of gave a little bit of feedback and also said, hey, Seatin, you can also use this champion for this. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, guys. I like that. That is very constructive. Great moves, guys. Keep it up. But anyway, we are announcing the favorite champion. Now, I was actually very surprised by the disparity in this poll, guys. So let's have a look at your favorite champion of 2016. As you can see, there is no, really one big slice of the pie. The winner by 12% of all the votes was Nightcrawler, and in second place we had Crossbones, and in third place we had Mordo. So just like all over the place, there was just such a mixed result. It's really nice to see the Marvel Contest of Champions, was in a state last year where there just wasn't like one or two dominant champions released. Everybody had their own favorite champions for different reasons, and I can completely understand why there's just such a mix in the vote. Other really popular champions included Quake. A lot of people like Quake, very inclined to agree with that. Ghost Rider, again, a really great champion. X-23 Wolverine, very fun to play. Agent Venom, Hyperion also got quite a big slice. Dr. Voodoo got 5.3%. There's just little chunks all over the place as well for some of the lesser desired champions. I think the kind of least popular champion might have been Gambit. No, actually, it's Cyclops 90s. He was the least hyped champion. I can kind of see why, because, he was probably the most similar version to his original. He didn't really bring anything new in terms of exciting abilities and mechanics. He's just like a slightly better version of the classic OG red suit Cyclops. So yeah, thank you guys to everybody that voted. Again, Nightcrawler was the winner of the favorite champion, with Crossbones and Mordo coming kind of a very close second and third there. Now, one of the things that I saw a lot of comments on yesterday, and I was really intrigued by this, is character predictions for 2017. Now, I kind of want to make a little bit of a game out of this, guys, and I want your predictions for every character that is going to be released in 2017. And I want to go back to the comments on this video, kind of in the middle of the year, kind of end of June, and see, who's right so far. Like, find the comment that is most accurate to all the champions that have been released, and then at the end of 2017, guys, because I'm in this for the long term, I want to come back and just see who was psychic, who got the most accurate response by a large margin, so that, we can see, guys, we can have a little bit of a competition, who's going to predict the right champions. But I want to go over also some of the early 2017 release champions, and also some of the comments that I saw that I was like, oh wow, this does seem pretty accurate. So one of the things that was sent in by a subscriber called Sani was this picture, which was data mined from the game files, which means that Gwenpool out of Cable and Gwenpool, which if you don't already know are the two new characters that are going to be coming supposedly in January, and I think this pretty much confirms that we are going to be seeing the introduction of Gwenpool to the game next Thursday, so that's January 5th. As you can see, she's in a crystal with Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck was released on, what was it, just before Christmas Day. So yeah, the 2-week schedule, it dictates that Gwenpool should be released on January 5th, which means that we should see Cable on January the 19th. Now, personally, out of these two champions, I think They are both incredible champions. They are both really, really good. We looked at the design of them a couple of weeks back on the MCOC mod video. He data mined all of the abilities with all the kind of stats and info there. And it seems that they're both really, really great champions. Gwenpool is an amazing bleed champion. She's a significantly better version of like Deadpool X-Force, for example. Has a lot more going for her though. And Cable, he just seems like incredible. He has so much going for him. I believe he has an ability that bypasses defensive ability accuracy. He has quite a powerful regen as well that triggers whenever he goes above a threshold of power. So I'm very, very excited for the introduction of both of these characters. Plus, like, visually, their animations look amazing. They look so incredibly awesome. But out of the two characters, I think Cable is going to be the better of the two, just because Gwenpool, again, does heavily rely on bleeding the opponent to actually do a lot of damage, which in Alliance War is going to be a little bit problematic in the top tiers when, you know, you have opponents with willpower and you also have bleed immune opponents, whereas Cable just seems really, really badass for absolutely everything. And hopefully, I'm really, you know, hoping that he's the top prestige champion for mutant characters, because I've currently saved up just over, if we go quickly to the game and have a look at my stack of 5-star shards, I've got 22,500, so by the 19th of January I should have 30,000, which means we're going to do a double 5-star Cable crystal opening. If we complete the Labyrinth before then, which we're going to attempt to do early January, it might even be a triple one, but I'm not too sure. Again, one of the really big pros also about Cable as well is the fact that he doesn't need to be duped to be a really good champion. So I'm thinking maybe I might just do like one at a time, and we'll see. We'll see, because I guess I'd like to dupe him for prestige. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm much more concerned about, you know, getting the character in the first place, because those 15k crystals are one really, really big gamble. But I feel like now that we have the 5-star Star-Lord, we can kind of start to gamble on those featured champions and see how we get on. You know, I've seen people open like open 5 of the crystals and not get the featured champion, so that makes me extremely nervous when going for them. But, you know, I feel like a lot of the champions, even in the 5-star crystal, are very, like, they're okay. I mean, I'd really like a Magic, I'd really like a Spider-Man, a Juggernaut dupe would be great, but none of those are, like, game-changing, super amazing champions. Actually, maybe the Magic and Juggernaut and Alliance War Defense, but I want to gamble for a champion that I believe is going to be, like, top-tier amazing. So yeah, very excited for that. So anyway, yeah, Cable and Gwenpool. Gwenpool coming January 5th, and Cable should be January 19th. Now let's go to this list. I really enjoyed this prediction list. So this, if you're doing a prediction list in the comments, make sure to format it something like this so it's quite easy to read. So these are the 2017 champion predictions. Now, I think one of the things to bear in mind, especially with next year, is that there is a lot of Marvel stuff coming out. We've got the Logan film, we've got the Iron Fist TV series, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, we have Spider-Man Homecoming, we have, I believe, Inhumans TV coming out in September, and then November we have the Thor Ragnarok film, which I'm very excited for, really hyped for that. Should be amazing. In the in-game event, I don't know what they're going to do for that, but I feel like it's going to be pretty big. Although, as well, Guardians of the Galaxy, there's just so much amazing Marvel stuff coming out next year, so I feel like it's going to be a huge year for the franchise. So yeah, just incredibly hyped for that. But anyway, let's have a look. So in January, we kind of already know that we're getting Gwenpool and Cable. In February, we've got Logan coming out. I think, you know, it's, you know, Glorious Mustache here, big shout out to him, did a really nice prediction post here. February, Weapon X, Wolverine, you know, we saw that character coming as a boss, but then just disappeared, just completely disappeared. So I'm not too sure if we're going to see another Wolverine added, the Weapon X version. Maybe they kind of went, you know, oh, you know what, we've got this Wolverine Weapon X, but maybe that we've released too many Wolverines recently, which at the time they kind of had, because they had just put out Old Man Logan, then X-23. And to release another Wolverine so incredibly soon would have been a little bit too much. So I can kind of see, you know, why they might have put that Wolverine off. But I feel like, you know, they've made the Wolverine, they're probably going to release him at some point, right? Like, Kabam are a business, they've made this art asset, they probably want to sell it. So I imagine we're going to see Wolverine Weapon X, and I also saw another comment of somebody predicting Sabretooth, but also Mr. Sinister could potentially be that. But I feel like, personally, it might be Wolverine Weapon X and Sabretooth. But I'm not too sure. And then in March, we've got the Iron Fist TV series special, where we have predicted he predicted Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, which is, it seems pretty accurate. April, absolutely no idea. I have no idea what's going to be going on April, so they're probably just going to bring something back. I feel like there might be they've got so much, especially that they can do around the Spider-Man stuff, but I'm not too sure if they're going to, you know, tie it all into the summer months and make like a huge Spider-Man Homecoming event. Because again, there are so many characters in the Spider-Man universe that people desperately want to add to the game. But with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, we've got Yondu, potentially Nebula, and potentially Mantis, which would be very interesting. I would love to see Yondu added to the game. Out of those characters, I just want to see Yondu. That would be amazing. And then June, July, August, Spider-Man Homecoming. So we got Dr. Octopus, Mysterio, Vulture, Shocker, Sandman, Kraven the Hunter. Also characters like Carnage. They could potentially do... did I read out Sandman then? They could do Sandman. I'd really like to see Sandman if he was introduced to the game. I think there's some very interesting stuff that they could do with the character there. But there's just the Spider-Man universe. They need a lot more villains. Like, we have so many Spider-Men in the game at the moment. We've got Miles Morales, the classic version, Spider-Gwen, Symbiote Spider-Man. So we want to see some of the villains, and I'm really hoping that we see like a lot of those come around the release of Spider-Man Homecoming. And then in Humans TV series special, potentially in September, we have the possibility of Medusa and Gorgon, who I don't really know too much about those characters, so I need to have a little bit of a read up, see if they're hype. But for Ragnarok, I'm incredibly excited for. We might have Angela, we might have Planet Hulk, we might have Healer as well. So there are just so many crazy characters that we could see in 2017. But guys, again, in the comments below, I want your 26 predictions for characters that are going to come out in 2017. And if you can nail the order as well, guys, that is going to be incredibly impressive. So I'm going to come back to this video, going to come back to the comments. Toward the end of summer, we're going to see who has the most accurate prediction, who is the oracle of the Marvel Contest of Champions community, who is 100% Command employee confirmed. You know, we're going to find out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you learned a little bit in today's video. Thank you for voting on your favorite champion. Again, congratulations to Nightcrawler, Crossbones, and also Mordu and the developers that made them. You guys did an exceptional job with those characters, so great moves, keep it up. Apart from that, guys, if you like this video, feel free to slap a like on it. Take care, and have an absolutely fantastic day.